I feel like I look really bright right now. But hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about fast fashion. What is fast fashion, you may ask? Fast fashion. That's like a tongue twister. What is fast fashion, you may ask? Well, I got some notes here. I've done my research, so we're just going to get right into it. So, fast fashion is low-cost clothing collections that mimic current fashion trends. So, their clothing, the best example that I can give to you guys about fast fashion is, when you walk into a Forever 21, you're with your friends, and they got all this cute clothes, and you see that one thing over there, and you're like, ooh, like, that's cute, like, I'm gonna wear this, and you're like, you look so cute in it, and you buy it and it's like really cheap, so that's even better. So got to get that cha-ching because you don't want to be spending a lot of money on clothes, right? So you buy it because it's cute and it's cheap, and then within a matter of weeks you're throwing it out because it's either shrunk or it's got a hole in it, or it's just like, ugh, like, is this even the same thing that I bought a few weeks ago? You know what I mean? Clothing. However, this clothing is made to only last for a certain amount of time. It's not, obviously we all know it does not last very long. So, as I said, some examples of this are Forever 21, H&M, PacSun, Zara, Topshop. All these big brand retailers are they're into, that is the industry that they're in. It's fast fashion, producing clothing for people like me and you, particularly teens. What they do with these clothing items is they make these high fashion trends more available to people like you and I at a much cheaper cost. What is the environmental impact of this? Well, let's go ahead and get into that. A lot of people don't really know about it. The thing is that we buy these clothing, and like I said earlier, they do not last very long. So we continue buying and throwing them out, buying and throwing them out, and the rate at which we're buying and getting rid of them is at too big of a rate. There is just so much unwanted thrown out clothing, and the United States does have this agreement with other third world countries where they give them our old clothing, and they give it to the people who need it. However, like I said, the rate is just, at the rate that we're going with buying and consuming these products, is that it's just too fast, and we're just like, what do we do with all this clothing? I mean, it's just filling up the landfills, and we don't know what to do with it. And which is understandable. I mean, let's be honest here, ladies, like, we buy, and not just ladies, guys too, like, we all buy clothing, but it's at a rate that is detrimental to our environment. And I'll tell you, so because these clothing items are very cheap, they're made out of very low cost materials, mainly acrylic and polyester. Now, acrylic and polyester, when clothing that is made out of acrylic and polyester is thrown out and begins decomposing, during the process of decomposition, it begins to release methane gas, which we all know, methane gas, and if you're vegan and you've looked and you know anything about climate change, you know that methane gas is like one of the most detrimental greenhouse gases that can be released into our ozone. So it's very, very, very bad for the environment when these clothing items are thrown out, because it's having this major environmental impact. And it's crazy because we wouldn't think that our clothes is doing this, you know what I mean? So, sweatshop methods. This is the other side. In order to make this clothes cheap, like extremely cheap for us to buy, they have to cut corners. These major corporations have to cut corners so that they're getting the most profit out of it. And the way they do that is they use sweatshop methods. So we all know that a lot of our clothing is not even made in the United States anyway. You look on your tag and it says China, Bangladesh, India. And this is where fast fashion takes kind of a dark turn. Like, there is definitely a dark side to the clothing that we wear, and it's very sad actually. So these sweatshop methods is basically these big corporations hiring workers in very poor third world countries. They're not paid very much. They work in terrible, unsafe conditions. If you look up if you Google sweatshop accidents, there are tons of accidents that occur daily that kill many of these workers. I mean, honestly, they're treated as slaves. Clothing is at the cost of lives. Like, yeah, we're paying very little for it, but the true cost of it is at the lives of other people. It's at the expense of these people's lives. And the reason why this happens is because either the equipment that they're using in these sweatshop factories is not up to date with like the latest safety rating, or like the building is not in a good upkeep. So, and there's this documentary that I actually watched a few months back, and that's kind of what this documentary specifically opened my eyes to this issue. But it's called True Cost. I highly recommend you checking it out on Netflix. But it talks a lot about, you know, accidents that have occurred in these sweatshops, and one specifically, I believe it occurred in India, was that this entire building, I guess it was not kept properly, and there was no proper upkeep on the building, and this entire like building, it collapsed, and people died, you know, they died in the process of trying to produce clothing for people like me and you, so that we can get cute, trendy clothing at a cheap price. You know, just the thought that whenever I walked into Forever 21 and seeing all this, you know, cute clothes and like, oh, it's cute and it's cheap and it's trendy, but thinking about the fact that that clothing was produced by people's hands who probably, you know, who are just struggling to feed their family. You know, these major corporations, they take advantage of these people in third world countries who have really nothing else. However, there are some ways that people are, some steps that people are taking towards to alleviating, you know, all this suffering and, you know, this environmental impact that fast fashion is having on our society. So a lot of companies and a lot of brands are starting to move toward biodegradable materials to create their clothing, which I think is going to be the most impactful in the long term. I think it's really awesome and really great, and I hope that in the future, as the years progress, you know, big brands like Forever 21 and H&M and Topshop will, you know, move towards that. Another way is to thrift shop. I mean, you're reusing clothing and it's good for your wallet. What else can you ask for? Thrift shopping is definitely an option. Yeah, I know a lot of people kind of feel intimidated with thrift shopping, but it's really fun, so try it. And the third way is selling your clothing online and buying clothing online. So there's these websites called Depop and Poshmark. So Depop and Poshmark, basically what you can do on there is that there are these websites, and I think you can even download the app as well. I'm really not sure. Depop and Poshmark allow you to sell your clothing online and other people can buy it. And it's normally like, you know, you have some clothing that you're not wearing anymore, so, you know, just take a picture of it, put it up on Depop or Poshmark, and, you know, you can make money off of that. And you can even shop on there too. I've personally been on Depop, and they have really cute stuff. People like sell like the cutest stuff, and it's great. You know, it's basically like thrift shopping but online, which is pretty cool. There's also other websites where you can literally just swap clothing with people, which I think is great as well. So yeah, those are some things I've started doing to take, you know, to help with that whole fast fashion issue. And I think it's really great, and, you know, just being aware, and even just by you watching this video and educating yourself on what fast fashion is really will open your eyes and probably will help you start to take small steps in any way. And, you know, overall, I'm not saying that you're bad. If you shop at Forever 21 or H&M, Zara, Topshop, you name it, I'm not saying you're a bad person. I've even shopped at Forever 21 as well, and, you know, you wouldn't, honestly, like, are you even American if you haven't shopped at Forever 21 or H&M? Like, let's be real here. We've all done it. It's just a matter of educating yourself. I'll go ahead and put the name of the documentary that I watched. It's called The True Cost, but I'll put the name of it down below. It's on Netflix, so if you have a Netflix, I highly recommend checking it out. So please like and subscribe, leave any comments down below. Tell me if you like this video or you want more videos like it. Definitely comment down below. As you can see, thumbs up. That would be really, really great. And I hope to see you guys in the next videos. Whenever she's sinking, uses that steam to make it up mountains. That's how they know the real story.